Hi, I'm Mia Freedman, and welcome to No Filter, where my guest today is once again Trinny Woodall. The last time I saw her, we were in the Mamma Mia podcast studio, and I fell in love, and she had a little cry, and we just bonded. She is the former TV host, now turned incredible lady startup entrepreneur. She makes these products, makeup in these little pots, that she calls teapots, that all link together, and it's what I've got on my face right now. It's what I wear most days, and I wanted to call her up during this very crazy time to find out how she is managing her business of 85 people in London, which has been hit really, really hard by the corona pandemic, and how she's doing, how she's going, who she's living with, and what she's wearing. Is it sequins? Of course it is. Enjoy. Here's Trinny. Hello, my love.
Hello, my darling.
How the bloody hell are you?
I'm all right. I mean, I feel I'm in the room with you because I think over this period of time, because we've had like a month of shutdown, not shutdown, staying safe at home. That's what I like to reiterate it is. But I feel nearly like seeing those posters behind you. I feel we're slightly in that nest that we were in when we had our first big encounter.
The podcast studio.
Yeah. So that kind of feels nice that we live in an age where we can do this.
I've got it, you know, everyone's obsessed with, that's my dog in the background. Everyone's become obsessed with what everyone else's staying safe at home routines are. And one of mine is I wake up and I just put one of your videos on, your live or whatever you've done while I'm been asleep, and I just hear your soothing tones and it calms me. Or I watch you put your makeup on and it calms me.
Oh, darling.
Oh, because it's just like it's got nothing to do with what's going on in the world, and it's just like, yes, there is a life outside Corona.
I think it's an interesting one because I get, you know how on most days, if you're doing things, you just look at the positivity around, but very occasionally when I'm doing stuff and somebody will leave a comment, and I answer every comment, so I read every single comment on Instagram. Somebody will say, don't you see what's going on around? Can't you be more responsible? Okay. And, you know, whatever. So luckily I've got really lovely women who would just say, it helps me. But I was sort of think, oh, am I doing enough here? Am I doing enough? And it takes the grown-upness of my 56 years to acknowledge, yes, what I have to give is different from what you have to give during this time. And is different what Mary has to give during this time. So it gives me such joy to hear I can be a nice background noise to make your day slightly easier.
I want to check in with you and yours. How is everyone in your family? I know London is doing it so tough, and how is everyone in your world?
It's in the sort of family unit here. I've got my daughter Lyla, Charles, my man, his daughter Phoebe, and her husband. So we're a sort of team of 5. I think for Lyla, as a teenager, 16, I think you can relate to that a bit, Mia. She's got, you know, it's really lucky that she's got Zoom, house party, Facebook, everything. But aside from that, I will be with her, and we have a routine here. So I'll kind of get up. Well, she's asleep still. I'm in the floor where she's asleep. This is where I work. And she'll get up. She'll be a bit grumpy. And then we'll have lunch, you know, I've had half my day, we'll have lunch. I'm still making her do tutors. And in England, they cancelled her exams, her GCSE. So there's two ways of a student in this one. Okay. There's either panic, my mock, was it good enough? I'm a fantastically good student. I'm an A student, but could I be an A star? Or there's Lyla. I don't have to go to school ever again. You know, it's like, Lyla, you might have to retake it. You want to go to uni. I don't know if 3 is going to be enough for maths when it could be up to a 9. To have a weird system now. So we have this kind of, I want you still to have an online tutor in English math. No one else is getting that. Except that you're not no one else. You're special and different. So we had a bit of that moment last night, actually.
And in terms of London more generally, and your team and your extended family, do you know people who have it? I mean, it seems to be so widespread in London.
Yeah, I mean, my stepson had it. I think I had it a long time ago in February, but I don't know.
I remember
but I
how
went to
sick
New
you are
York.
for such a long time after you got back from New York, when you were in New York,
Yeah.
and then when you got
Yeah,
back.
and in New York, I had a fever. I remember being in the hotel room in New York. This is so unlike me, although I can be grandiose whilst traveling. I was in the hotel room. They booked this hotel, and it was tiny, and it was a dark wooden room. And I burst into tears, and I had a fever. And I was thinking, this is so not me. What's going on? So I was like for 2 weeks quite sick. Now I can't get a test here. That's the problem. My mum had it, and my mum was in a care home because she has vascular dementia and Alzheimer's, and she's kind of like 6 out of the 10 you can be. Okay, so she does remember things certainly, but she had a cough like a month ago, and then they took her by ambulance that night. They tested her the next day. The test didn't come back for 6 days. In that time, my sister and I kept calling, and we weren't allowed to visit her. And then I was speaking to the matron. I called him up, and he said she's got it, and she's going to go to the full-on corona. So the full-on, all old people have corona. And I said, well, how's that ward doing? And he went, well, nobody's come out of it yet.
Oh.
And also, if it comes to this time, it might be better that we take in an iPad for you to say goodbye. So I was sort of like this.
Wow.
And thinking, what's the right thing to do? Do I just go down anyway? Do I put on a hazmat suit, or do I stay away? And then my sister and I every day called, and it was quite difficult getting through. Like we'd spend about 2 hours between us on the phone trying to get through because they were obviously just not picking up the phone. And then finally, last week we got through, and the nursing home in the meantime had not told all the other patients or families that my mum had corona, apart from saying somebody has corona, but she went to hospital and then she was tested and she got it. Like inferring she got it in the hospital, and it was 5 hours later that she was tested. So I was like, that's a bit naughty. But they then called up and said, your mum hasn't developed any new symptoms. She's a super carrier. Okay. So my mother was singing in the corona thing when everyone else was really sick. And they said, look, we're going to send her home. We're not going to even test to see if it's out of her system. We're sending her home. So she went back to the home. And there's 68 people. I think the hardest thing of old people's homes right now is they're all isolated in their room. Yeah. My mum forgets she can't walk. So every 20 minutes, she's probably trying to get up. And only every half an hour do people come in the room and check on her. So, every few days, she's just fallen on her chair and she's forgotten how to press the thing. So, that kind of stuff is more harmful for her now than corona, because even if people in that place get the corona, my mum is a super carrier. She won't, she just like.
She's fine. So is a super carrier actually a thing? How old is she, your mum?
My mum is 89.
And then I heard you also saying that they'd announced in London that if you're over 75, you don't get a respirator. Is that true?
They have announced that. And I don't know if that's, we've had 4 days now. I don't know when this will go out, Mia, but we've had a few days where it's slightly gone down. And I just don't trust any figures on anything because it could be less people have been tested. If they accounted for the people who are over 75 who are dying, are they accounting for people in old people's homes who are dying? Don't know. But it is true that they will, not send out ambulances. There's a big thing right now. Will they be sending out ambulances for people? And so,
wow,
a ton of news and you don't know what's true. Charles, my partner, is 76. Okay. So we have a very strict household. Charles is the fittest person in the household. He never gets sick. He's like a big bull, doesn't get sick. And Phoebe, his daughter, will have coughs and colds. I will sometimes struggle. Lyla will just. So we still are, everything that comes in the house, like shoes are off, everything's sprayed, everything we get from the supermarket, we put Dettol on before we put it in the fridge. We disinfect the house 3 times a day. So we're very vigilant, but he got, like yesterday, he got conjunctivitis and he was just saying, I'm going to just stay away. And I was like, why? And he says, because I think it's one of the symptoms. And I'm like, is it?
And how have you adapted running your business, suddenly having to shut down? Did you have much warning? Like how did you do it?
We knew that they were talking about it for a couple of weeks before, and they said work from home. There was a week where they were saying, if you want to feel safe, work from home. So we told our staff, if you really don't want to come in, you don't have to come in, but you have to let us know if you're working from home. And there was also a big education on what does working from home mean? Because when you have a young team, they're not used to the concept of working from home apart from a developer who has a regime. So you need to check in, you need to come to every Zoom meeting. So there was that. So it was really good. We had that week where they were in the office, but we were educating them about what work from home entailed. And then that week after, which was like 3.5 weeks ago, they started working from home, and we had a lot of Google Hangouts, and we have a structure to do the day, and each sub team, so we have 75 people that work for Trinny London. So 5 of them we put on furlough, which is the way that you pay their wages, and then the government pays you back 80%. And that was for the retail staff. But then I had also 15 other retail staff, and I just thought something we'd always wanted to start was these virtual appointments where you could actually, we do this thing on Trinny London which is personalization. And to me, it's like 75% there. I want it in this time of furlough. In this time of, staying at home, yeah. It's times we can focus on tech. So I want to focus on that, making that journey better. But in the meantime, we thought, let's use the makeup artists, train them up on film. So we spent 10 days training them up how to do a virtual appointment. And then we launched these appointments free. And I was thinking, should they be free or should they not? Because if people cancel, that's kind of stressful. But we launched them 500 appointments in 3 hours. They were fully booked. Wow. So then we thought, okay, maybe we take these other 5 people off furlough. And then of the appointments, like of the 200 appointments that have been so far, 30 cancelled. Okay, so is that, and how many converted to become customers who hadn't been, or how many are customers who then as a result bought more, or how many just had a nice experience with us whilst they're on shutdown? Because that is a very important third of what we are as a brand, is how can we offer you, entertainment, uplifting feeling, something to make you feel better. We want that whole bigger picture.
What about your moods? I just wanted to finish up by asking, how are you? You seem high energy. You seem like a super positive person. Are you having times of, sometimes I wake up teary, sometimes I'm waking up anxious. It's sometimes I feel really optimistic. Are you riding that roller coaster, or you're staying up?
I think that if I have a really long week and I'm giving and giving and giving a lot, then sometimes at the weekend, what I realized this weekend, and I didn't realize it last weekend, is I was running on empty. So I got to the weekend and then I felt, disjointed from Charles. And then you kind of wind the movie forward and think, what am I doing? And why am I, and it's only going to get worse and worse. It's like you have this, you just go mad. That's what happens. When I'm running on empty, I go a bit insane. And so then I kind of say, inappropriate things. And then I feel a bit flat, and then I just can't deal with my feelings. And then I don't sleep. And then I wake up and I feel worse. And then I think, okay, tonight I'm going to take a sleeping pill, so I get a proper night's sleep, and I'll wake up tomorrow and it will all be better. And then it is.
Oh, and then I thought you were going to say, and then it isn't, but it is. That's good.
And that's my pattern. So I will probably, I'm not, like on Friday or Thursday, far more for me, all right, Mia, I have this lovely guy called Sanjay who does meditation. And last Friday or Thursday, we did one, and it was just about winding down. And I do it, and I used to do it a lot with him, and I had them on my phone and I'd listen to them. So I did it, and that really helped me on Thursday night because it was a holiday on Friday. So Friday was good because I had the petrol of Sanjay. Saturday wasn't good, and Sunday was kind of not good, and then Monday it was a bit better. Yeah, I do, because I think you can't just be like this, otherwise you turn into, some people say, do you have ADHD? And no, I don't think I do.
People say that to me too, Trinny.
Okay, fine. Well, maybe we do. I've never been one for labels. I'm not going to take a pill for something that I generally feel 90% of the time allows me to give off some good energy, which will help other people.
Well, it's been absolutely a slice of heaven talking to you. Oh, thank you.
I could
for
talk
everything
to you for hours
you're doing.
and hours.
I know.
I really could.
I'll see you on the other side, huh?
Yeah, definitely. I'm on a plane to Australia as soon as this is all over.
As soon as planes go work again.